Hi everybody. So in the last video we put on the left side of the cabin heat. I think we'd also done the pass-throughs. Or so yeah, left side. So what happened was when I tried to drill out the hinge piece for the right side, it didn't quite work out. And I didn't have any spare hinge. Well, yes I did. See, I'm not doing the typical hinge around the firewall and the cowling. I'm using cam locks, so I've got like 12 feet of stainless steel hinge to use, so I could mess up many times. I only needed 3 inches. So here I am fitting it in. Also, I'm trying to make a little more of a conceited effort here to give you a better view of what I'm doing. That standard shot where it just sits over on the other workbench and peers at me from 6 feet away as I fumble around and stuff up, that's not fun. So I'm going to be more cognizant of actually capturing what it is that I'm building and not just from a side view. So there we are. And I got lucky and didn't drown out this whole shot by backlighting it. So I'm doing a little bit of adjustment to the side of the cabin heat flange there. When everything is fit up perfectly, you know, I mean, you want it to fit perfectly. Sometimes it doesn't happen. So you just have to, you know, just tweak one side of it. So I had to basically shave off about 1/16 of an inch from the inboard side of that vent, and everything is good. Okay, so let's talk about mistakes. You're going to see 2 videos back to back about mistakes. And you know, it's interesting. So okay, but before we start on that, so what I'm working on there is the 2 stiffeners that go in the front of the ribs, in front of the front bulkhead. And these are going to go on fine. Right now I'm just dimpling, deburring, and then I'll prime them and then start putting one on. But what I need to talk about is mistakes. In the last video, I promised that I would talk about, you know, how important it is to follow the plans. So there's a bracket that goes into the center console area, and it goes in kind of close to where the bulkhead is, and it's basically just kind of like a stiffener to keep it from rattling, I think, because it doesn't serve any other purpose that I can see yet. Here's the problem. You're supposed to put that bracket on before you cleco the bulkhead in place. And certainly way before you ever actually before you actually, you know, rivet it in place. Much less get to the point where I am now. So if you're from the camera angle that you're looking at, so there's a hole that goes into that center console where those ribs are. The bracket's basically right up in there. Now with all of that stuff off, it's easy to get to. With all of that stuff on, it is not. And basically what happened was right now is when I discovered it. Because I'm looking back there and I'm like, huh, there's 2 holes back there. And I look through the plans and I'm like, oh, great. I found that up. But I got lucky. So, you know what? Instead of describing everything and then showing you, let me show you right now. So here's the picture of everything. Okay? This is basically, when I say everything, this is how I had to put it on. So normally it would take 2 rivets aside. I can't get anything that rivets anything close to those, not even close. But what I was able to do was use my 12-inch number 30 drill bit, drill out both number 40 holes to number 30. I was able to pop rivet 2 of the holes on, and then I was able to get a bolt and lock washer, or lock nut, on the other 2. If you're looking at that and you say, wow, that looks like a really tight place to get into, it is. And let me tell you, after you see me putting this doubler on now, by the time I would be done with this, getting back there would be a lot more difficult. Only because at the same time I'd also put the bracket for the fuel selector. So, what's the lesson? The lesson is don't be an idiot. Read the instructions 50 times. Don't go into the next instruction unless you see a checkbox in the previous one. So I check off all the instructions in my plans. And I went back and I was like, oh, I didn't do this one. And I paid the price. Luckily this time, no one had to lose their head. Or, God forbid, redo an entire section. I can just hear the call from Vans now. Yeah, you're going to have to redo everything. Because that tiny little piece in there, that's the linchpin to the whole plane. Anyway, so we're putting on these doublers. In the next video, we'll put on another doubler. After that, we're going to see something really, really special in the next video. So stick around, watch the next one. It'll be even a little ranty rant because it's the last one of the week. So thank you for joining me, and I'll see you soon.